5-second board is being shown. This big 40-car grid about to get underway for a 15-minute race. So the black car of Cook on the right of your picture, the white car with the red and blue stripes of Sean Traynor on the inside, and then the second row it's 11 Adam Lockwood in the silver and red car. The yellow car is 84 Neil Stratton. The race gets underway and it looks like everyone is away cleanly at the moment, but it is the black car from the pole position from the left-hand side of the circuit that is going to sweep through into the lead, I think. So Aaron Cook from pole position is going to be able to hold on, I reckon, from the silver car that's gone into second place. So that looks like it's Adam Lockwood from the second row of the grid. And once again, Marcus, the drivers on the right-hand side of the circuit have struggled a little bit more.
Yeah, 84 got tagged in the middle of all that, and that has certainly not helped his chances.
That's Neil Stratton, who started fourth. So he's lost out. There is a gap you can see emerge there between third and fourth as they come down the straight.
Yeah, I wonder whether there's some damage to the steering geometry of that car. It just got a bit of a tag. Down here we've got Sean Traynor trying to wrest second place back, but it's the black car of Cook, who, rather like Traynor as champion, hasn't gone to a number one, but sort of kept a number that he's familiar with and happy with.
Absolutely right. So they're turning their way through Stowe for the first time, and Traynor still trying to get that place back from Lockwood. The two of them more or less side by side. He's done it now though as they head into the Vale, and then you've got the first of the Mark IIs, and that is number 50 Cam Walton. He was going well in qualifying for much of the session. He was fastest for a while, but then he was overhauled and fell back to 6th on the grid. Well, he's back to 4th on the road now, partly because of the incident involving 84 Neil Stratton, and there's a big gap that's opened up between 4th and the rest. Walton
in the best placed of the Mark II's, number 50, and he runs 4th ahead of Daniel Sylvester, and there's a gap back to Paul Cook, quite a big gap back in actual fact. This is the breakaway group. Yeah, Daniel Sylvester, you're right, in 5th places with these as well. Aaron Cook was 0.8 of a second to the good at the end of lap 1. You can see on the timing tower the blue squares on the numbers indicate it's a Mark 3 car, reds for Mark 2s, and you'll see that Mark 1's are another different colour as well as we head down the screen. Yeah, Paul Cook made a pretty tardy getaway. He was on the slipperier side of the circuit, and he got jumped at the start by one of the roadsters behind him. Into Stowe again. Trainor's car's just got a bit squirrely going into Stowe, just lost a bit of grip. Looks like Lockwood's capitalised on that and is alongside at least, but Cam Walton's going to try and get past both of them under braking down towards the Vale. Just has to back out of that, otherwise he could have gone into the side of Trainor's car potentially. So he stays 4th for the moment. Cook is still there but not getting away too much in the lead. Then you've got Traynor 2nd, then it's the 11 car 3rd of Adam Lockwood, 4th is Cam Walton and Daniel Sylvester 5th. Paul Cook has Sam Harper behind him. Harper's in 7th, and further back it looked like Darren Aldworth and Nick Williamson were going to swap 8th and 9th as Cam Walton using a lot of curb there on the way through Abbey Corner. Yeah, it's interesting. They say those heavier but potentially more powerful Mark IIs, the 2-litre engines, 1800s, aren't they, the roadsters, and there's that Rogue Motorsport car, that familiar name around MR2 racing. It's the sort of the name that's on most cars down the average field, and Cam Walton hanging in there in 4th place, but Trainor's got a little bit of daylight between himself and Lockwood in the battle behind leader number 96 Aaron Cook in the black car. Turn their way into Stowe for the 3rd time. It's a 15-minute race. Look at the lap times. It's a 1:21.86 to the best lap of the race so far. And the lap record for these cars, well, that's in the 120s at 1:20.46 for Sean Traynor in the Mark III. So they're about 1.4 seconds off that pace at the moment, which is interesting seeing as the Clio's achieved a lap record, but still only in the very early stage. They've only done 1 flying lap, of course. Make that 2 flying laps as they come over the line once again. So it's Cook, Traynor, Lockwood with Walton attacking him now, and he is again trying to make a move into Abbey. He's not even halfway alongside though, so it doesn't work out. He was squeezed over the curb, but he did back out of it very neatly. Daniel Sylvester at Village is trying to attack, goes to the outside. That then sort of becomes the inside for the next left-hand kink, but it's not really a corner, and so it doesn't do him any good.
So they come now through the link and back onto the hangar straight with just over 10 minutes of this race still to go. Cook now 2.42 seconds ahead, so he's going to take some catching in this race, a bit like Jack Kingsbury in the last race for the Clios. Just Cook able to ease away from the rest. The difference this time though is Trainer now is going on his own in second place. Yes,
that's right, but Cook is making his own hole in the air. There comes 50 up the inside, that's Cam Walton up inside Lockwood into Stowe. Sylvester still there in the red car at the back of that quartet. But yes, even on his own, Aaron Cook, the only driver in the 121s so far, but that's probably down to the intensity of this four-way scrap for second, third, fourth and fifth, which has a new third man in Cam Walton.
Yep, Toyo is the championship sponsor. You can fully anticipate what kind of rubber they're using in this race. Wipers on for Sean Trainer and also for Sam Harper a bit further back down the order, so possibly a little bit of light rain falling out on the circuit at the moment. There is the 13 car, the bright pink car of Rhys Dorman. He's making up a place there, goes up into 13th ahead of Peter Higdon in the silver version.
And last time round, Aaron Cook was only 200ths of a second quicker than Cam Walton in third place. But this is a tight old tussle. We've got three roadsters. Again, that yellow car that got bustled out early on, the 84 of Neil Stratton, has been hung out to dry. A little bit sideways there for the 34, but that's Shane Mansbridge, another long-time exponent of this series.
Yeah, someone again who just went away from it for a little bit but has come back, and it's good to have Shane back in the championship, which has still got 3 more events to go after this one. It's good to see some scrapping down the order here. Also involved in this battle, there you can see the blue car with the white stripe going down there. That's John Wilton, and he's having his last meeting in the MR2 today. I think he's got the car up for sale as we watch now the battle a little bit further up. That's Jim Mew, number 78, with Ben Rowe, who was the championship runner-up just behind him.
And there's Wilson, who's been a front runner for many years. Is he do something else?
I'm not sure what his plans are. I think he is just stepping away from racing. He'd been away from the MR2s for a bit, came back, but is deciding to call it a day.
Now, is Trainer's car coming back to him a little bit now, I wonder, because he's made a bit of ground. He's made about 0.3 of a second that time round, 22.37. The rest of the top 10, all the top 10 in the 22s that time round.
So 7.5 minutes, just under, of this race left to go. It's a bit wetter out there now, isn't it? You can see the rain on the camera lens. So this is what we are expecting throughout the day, changeable conditions.
It's not hit the lap times, has it? But you can see but the bit of spray that's being kicked up that it's not ideal.
Down the hangar straight again, and we're watching now the battle for third place, because that is Adam Lockwood, who's gone around the outside of Cam Walton there, using a little bit more of the circuit than was perhaps intended, and he has still got Daniel Sylvester involved in that. Cam Walton will try and fight back, but undoubtedly the rain now starting to become more of a factor. I suspect this will play into the hands of the roadsters.
Yeah, and the times lengthening into the 23s.
Yeah. And yes, the rain definitely falling a bit heavy, yes, and the 25s a little bit further down the order as well. So yes, definitely this is starting to have more of an impact, and this will be more difficult now, I think, for Cam Walton in that Mark II. The MR2 Championship has a sort of dual point scoring system. The overall championship is decided on based on overall finishing position, but there's then separately a class championship for the Mark IIs and a class championship for the Mark IIIs and the Mark Is as well, for that matter, with points awarded on where you finish within your class. But it's the overall title that I think most people are interested in.
Yeah, here's Walton trying to go round 11 Lockwood coming into Stowe. Not quite close enough, but he tucks in tight on the exit as Lockwood scrabbles out towards the curb, but Lockwood hanging on down the inside into the tight left-hander at Vale. Oh, a bit of a slide there for number 50, the Rogue Motorsport car. of Cam Walton. Someone else getting it, they're all wrong. That's 22 going round. 72 going round.
And that is John Wilson, I'm afraid, and he's got some damage.
And Stratton has got damage as well.
Yeah, oh, that's a great shame.
And you can see there's been the car's been savaged around the front, John Wilson's.
Neither of them are going to go any further. They're both pulling off into the pit lane entrance there, which is right by where the incident occurred. This is Walton and the Lockwood car going side by side. They're down into Village in heavy rain now, falling at this part of the circuit. Lockwood's holds on to third at the moment. And Daniel Sylvester still there in fifth position. Just looking to see if anyone's sort of making a move in these conditions. I can't see anyone that's sort of making progress on cars ahead of them, particularly towards the sharp end of the field. There's one of the Mark 1s heading through shot.
The parakeet-coloured car.
Yeah. That's the 55 car of Martin Davis, Derby driver. He's going to be lapped by these two. Walton up the inside of the 11 car again, and this time he's made it through, I think. So Walton's going to get back into third place, or is he? No. It didn't work out for him.
It looked like it was done, didn't it?
It did.
And there was another spinner just out of the first element. It's getting very skitey out there, isn't it?
Yeah, that looks like the
21, was it?
Yeah, might have been Patrick Firmin. Yes, and that almost caused the green MR2 Mark 1 to have a little moment as well ahead of the leaders. It's pretty hairy stuff. We're watching now. I think that's the number 12 car coming towards us.
Trainer has taken quite a lot of time back that lap. In 27 now, just 1.92 seconds behind leader Aaron Cook.
56 Nathan Harrison going through shot as well in the Mark 1s. Just having a look who's leading the Mark 1 category at the moment. It is Dave Hemingway in 20th position
and
overall.
There was another spin there just going out of our shot between the end of Vale and the start of the long right-hander, which is Club. Lap
times an hour, sort of plus 8 seconds on to what people were doing at their best.
In the old days, it was a straight line between the exit of Stowe and the entrance to Club. And that was a seriously quick corner. The right-hander, both of them were.
Picking up there on a battle outside the top 20. That's the battle for 30th. Simon Quinn, number 67, and Michael Japp, number 42. They're behind as well. I think that's the Andrew Strange car, number 51 as well. His roadster with the green and orange design. Making their way out onto the straight with 2.25 minutes left to go. A bit further up the order, you've got Nick Williamson there in 22. He's right in behind Sam Harper now. So this is the battle for 7th. 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th are right together there. You've got Sam Harper, Nick Williamson, Ben Rowe, Lee Brown and I think Darren Oldham. So 5 cars disputing 7th place as they go on to their final couple of laps.
Yeah, Ben Rowe all the way up from Holsworthy in North Devon, where the late Ken Nichols made the Nike racing cars.
Always a bit of a haul to almost any motor racing circuit. Ben, as we watch the 6 and 86 cars so go side by side, that's so Darren Oldworth, that is, trying to go up the inside of Lee Brown to get inside the top 10.
I think since David Stowe in Cornwall disappeared off the radar a long time ago, he's always been faced with a trek from there.
Absolutely. A minute and a half or so to go, so there'll be probably one more lap to go at the end of the one run. There's Rhys Dorman in his 13 car, which certainly stands out from the rest, the bright pink one. Further up, it looks like one of that group, I think the 86 cover Lee Brown, has made a bit of a mistake there at the link and dropped to the back of that group. It's Sam Harper at the head of it, and this the fight for third place again, still going on between Cam Walton and Adam Lockwood. It's been raging all race long. Paul Cook though is now with them because he's got ahead of Daniel Sylvester.
Yes, that was last time round, and Cook's had a bit of a moment, I think, out of our sight, but here is 50, which is Cam Walton, who continues to lead the B class. Going on to the last lap, the board was shown there from the pit wall. There is the yellow-tailed car of Paul Cook that was slow away on the slipperier side of the circuit at the lights, but is now back into the top 6, well into contention.
There's the race leader though, number 96, Aaron Cook, 1.6 seconds ahead of Sean Traynor. Then is working his final half a lap or so, heading through the link down onto the Hanger Straight. We'll see possibly as if he's got any more traffic to deal with in the final few corners. There is one slower car, but I don't think he's quite going to catch that before the end of the race, so it shouldn't be a particular problem for Aaron Cook as he looks to secure his 5th win of the year. Yeah,
the times have tailed off by pretty much 6 seconds now from where they were earlier in the race. Sean Traynor not close enough coming down into Stowe. In fact, the next pair are there around the outside. That's Sylvester trying to go around Cook just in the background, but there's 11, which is Lockwood. Has Sylvester made it? It would have been a bold one if he did.
Cook, though, making his way, that's Aaron Cook rather than Paul Cook, making his way through the final couple of corners out of club. He comes with 0 on the clock. Checkered flag is going to go out to him now, and it does, and it's win number 5 of the year in round 9 of the Toyo Tyres Toyota MR2 Championship for Aaron Cook. Sean Traynor takes his second place finish of the season. Daniel Sylvester just about gets his car straightened up again, ending it in the gravel trap there. It was Walton 3rd, Lockwood 4th, Cook and Sylvester 5th and 6th. The rest of the field making their way through that battle for 7th backwards has resolved itself in favour of Sam Harper, Ben Rowe 8th, Nick Williamson 9th, and Darren Aldworth rounding out the top 10 at the end of 11 frantic racing laps.
That was all quite exciting, wasn't it? And a consummate drive by Aaron Cook out front.
Certainly was. In terms of where he's had his wins this season, they've come at Cadwell, at Brands, he had a couple there, and one at Snetterton as well. So add to that one at Silverstone now, who'll look to do the double a bit later on. I can tell you that Dave Hemingway has won Class A for the Mark 1s, 19th position overall, just 1 place ahead of Maxine Nichols, who's had a good run to 20th place. But there we can see the 96 car of Aaron Cook just behind the 59 car, which is the back marker, which it was David Rowe, but Ben's father. But Aaron Cook there in the black Roadster, our race winner ahead of Sean Traynor at the end of a very exciting MR2 race, the first of 2 today.
Yep, and a good result then for the Rogue Motorsport boys. That's first overall with Aaron Cook, 96, and then Cam Walton in 3rd place in the 50 car, won the B category.
Let's see if we can have a look at the results at the end of 11 laps of racing in the Toyo Tyres Toyota MR2 Championship. Aaron Cook, number 96, taking the win by 2.65 seconds from number 27 Sean Traynor. Number 50 Cam Walton took 3rd place overall in car 50. He won the class for the Mark 2s as well. 4th place to number 11 Adam Lockwood, 5th to number 26 Paul Cook. In 6th place was 24 Daniel Sylvester, then it was 18 Sam Harper, 2 Ben Rowe, 22 Nick Williamson, and 6 Darren Aldworth rounding out the top 10. Further back, Rhys Dorman, his bright pink car, finished in 12th place, Shane Mansbridge 13th. Dave Hemingway, as I say, 19th overall in car number 5 to win the Mark 1 class. Beyond 20th, it was Jonathan Grimes 21st, Jim Cook 68th, David Mustard, he was 24th. And we should have one more screen of results because we had a near 40 car grid, and sad to see that we did lose Neil Stratton and John Wilson, I think Patrick Firmin possibly as well, towards the end of that Toyo Tyres Toyota MR2 Championship race. There's another of those at around about 10 to 5 this afternoon. You can see cars heading into Parc Fermé. The cars also lined up at the 1, 2 and 3 boards in the pit lane as well. So hopefully we can head downstairs to the pit lane, and once more it's going to be Josh Barrett this time talking to Aaron Cook first of all.
Thanks, Ian. So it was again an Aaron Cook victory. Well done, Aaron. Slippery conditions, I should think, out there to win in.
Yeah, it was really good to start with. We thought in the dry we'd struggle here. We was praying for rain. We got off well in the dry, and as soon as the rain started falling, it felt like a really long race from there. Sean was catching, but he could gauge off of me where my braking points. I knew he was going to come in hot, so I had to ramp it up again towards the end just to pull away, risk a little bit of bit of move just to get it around the track. But yeah, we done what we needed to do. First place, yeah, brilliant.
You've obviously switched to this car this year from the Mark II. How have you found the difference?
It's a brilliant car to drive. The Mark II was a lot more unsteady. This is, you can really turn it in and get on the power. I mean, Rogue Motorsport prepared this car for us. They run it on the track day. They look after it. They do a great job. I mean, we're pole and we're right up there, and we're leading the championship at the moment. So, yeah, Sean's our main guy at the moment. So as long as we can keep him just behind, we'll be good.
It's quite interesting this time, lots of roadsters at the front for the first time really ever this season. Do you think that's a better car over a lap than the Mark II?
I would say at this track in particular, I would have preferred a Mark II here just because of the straight line advantage you've got, but these are great in the corners, so you can, any advantage they got in the straights, you can really make it up. As long as you don't make a mistake, you're back there.
Well done on your win and good luck later on. So that was our race winner, Aaron Cook. Second was Sean Trainer. Sean, you were catching towards the end there.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for the flag on the lights, so I was there waiting for the red light. And when you're on the front row there, you've got a job to see the lights anyway. So I'm sort of bent down, looking, and then all of a sudden I see it with a flag, and before I knew it, everyone else has gone. So I got a slow start. I've been getting good starts all season, and once Aaron had got that break, we're pretty evenly matched on the thing. I thought I'm not gonna. I think I got behind Cam, and I think at one point Adam was in front as well. So by the time I got back past them, Aaron had the gap, and then it was just a matter of him making sure he just kept that gap away from me. So we'll have a look next. I don't know where we are for quali times next time, but we'll see what I can do off the lights. Hopefully get them lights working for next round.
Interesting this season, isn't it? Because obviously you switched to the Mark III last year, now Aaron has this year. Obviously you two have won most of the championship, or mainly you, Aaron, last year. So how are you finding the comparison between the two types of MR2?
I don't know, I still prefer the Mark II. Okay, I've still got it tucked away in the garage, and it's like, do I even lead? The mechanic who looks after the car, he said, you know, are you going to get the Mark II back out next year or what? And I went, I don't know, we're still on debating at the moment. We'll see how it goes. I can't get to grips with it in the wet. Even though I was managed to pull Aaron in a bit towards the end, I think he was more managing the gap and didn't want to go chucking it off, rather than, I think if he had to push a bit harder, he could have probably pushed a bit harder. So, and even though they're supposed to have, you know, with the coilovers, you're supposed to have a bit more handling, but I still prefer the Mark II.
Well done on second place. Right, then Cam Walton was in third. Cam, well done on third place and the best of the Class B Mark IIs, and a good battle, I think, with Adam there towards the end.
Yeah, it's tricky. Really, the priority after quali was really just to try and stay ahead of class, especially in front of, you know, in a pack of 5 of us fighting for the class championship at the moment. Yeah, managed to mix up with the roadsters a little bit, but you know, the strengths and weaknesses is quite different, and especially when it comes to the wet, they've got ABS and I don't, so you know, can make moves around the corners like round at Stowe, and then it gets pretty tricky into Vale. Even if he's 4 car lengths back, he's going to get me. So yeah, massive respect to Adam, because we had an awesome battle, really close door to door, but no contact whatsoever, just complete respect, and had a lot of fun.
And this year you've come back to racing in the MR2 Championship. How have you found getting back into the swing of things?
Yeah, it's been a bit of an adjustment again, and that car, the Rogue Motorsport car, is a little bit different to the car I was used to driving back in the day, different springs and having to drive it in a little bit different way to get the most out of it. But it's an awesome car, really enjoying it, super competitive up the front this year, especially with the roadsters with Sean and Aaron, so yeah, having a lot of fun.
And you finding that the Mark II's not quite as quick as the Mark III's? Obviously Mark III's have won most of the races this year.
Yeah, I think it's really circuit dependent at the moment. The first half of the season we've had a lot of circuits which I'd say would probably suit the Mark III a little bit better, like Cadwell, Brands Hatch Indy. Snetterton should have suited the Mark II's and should be the same here as well. Unfortunately, I made a mistake in qualifying, lost my pole time, so I know the pace is there. If we have a dry race this afternoon, then maybe we can get a Mark II win for the first time in a while.
Well done on your third place and good luck later. So that's the MR2s. We continue with rear-engined sports type cars, and that means BMW's up next.